Okay, so lesson 50 is all about graphing inequalities. We've worked with inequalities before. There are things like x is greater than 5. Today we're going to work on linear inequalities in one variable, which just means that it's an inequality that only has one variable in the equation. So if we solve these equations, we can find a solution of an inequality in one variable, which is just the value or a set of values that makes that equation true. So it's kind of like solving for x. So let's jump right in. Let's try an example out. First example says, determine which of the values, and it gives us the set 0, 2, 4, and 6, are part of the solution set of the inequality 4y minus 5, is greater than 11. So if you're trying to determine which of these numbers are in the solution set, all we need to do is plug in these numbers that they gave us for y. So first, let's just start with y equals 0. So 4y is now 4 times 0 minus 5 greater than 11. 4 times 0 is 0 minus 5 greater than 11. Negative 5. Is negative 5 greater than 11? No. So this would not be in the solution set. So I'm just going to cross it off. Not one of our options, because this is false. Okay, so let's try 2. Y equals 2. 4 times 2 minus 5 has to be greater than 11. 4 times 2 is 8. Minus 5 is greater than 11. Well, 8 minus 5 is 3. And 3 is not greater than 11, so this is false. 2 would not be in the set either. Let's try 4. Y equals 4. 4 times 4 minus 5, we want it to be greater than 11. 4 times 4 is 16, minus 5, greater than 11. 16 minus 5 is 11, but 11 is not greater than 11, so this is false also. So 4 does not work either. We need to try one more. We've got 6, so y equals 6. 4 times 6 minus 5 has to be greater than 11. 4 times 6 is 24, minus 5. 24 minus 5 will get us 19, and 19 is greater than 11. So the only number that is in the solution set for this equation is 6. Okay, so if it asks you to determine which of the values are in the solution set, you just plug in each of these numbers in for y and see which statement is true. The ones that are true, that's in the solution set. So this one is just 6. Okay, quick note, equivalent inequalities are just two inequalities that have the same solution set. Sometimes you'll run across this. It's not super common, don't stress about it, but equivalent inequalities means that the same solution set applies to two different inequalities. So, next thing we need to talk about is graphing inequalities. So, let's jump right into this. Graphing inequalities. If I have the example g is greater than 5.8, what happens is we need a number line. So let's draw ourselves a number line down here. We'll make this end 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5.5. And this is 6. So we need to find 5.8 to start with. So we've got 5.5, 6, 7. This is 5.8. And I'm going to circle it. Okay, since this is just greater than and not greater than or equal to, it's going to stay an open circle. You have to make an open circle on 5.8. Cannot be colored in. Then I need everything greater than, because g is greater than 5.8. So we need everything this way. I'm going to draw a line this way and put an arrow, because everything above 5.8 is going to solve that equation. And that is it. Okay, let's look at another example. If I have v is greater than or equal to 6, that's going to change the way we graph it. Whoops. So, if I get my number line out here, let's make this 6. This will be 5, and this will be 7. So, v is greater than or equal to 6. So I'm going to circle 6, because that's the value. Then, since this is greater than or equal to, I'm going to color in my circle. You can only color it in if it's greater than or equal to or less than or equal to. It has to have the equal to sign. Then we need everything that's more than 6. So I'm going to draw my arrow, fill in my line. Some people draw a squiggly line. You can do that if you want, to show that everything more than 6 is in the solution set. Okay. Let's try a couple more. Let's try one more like this, and then we'll switch it up. Okay, if I have x is less than or equal to -2, I'm going to graph that. So we're going to make, this is 0, -1, -2, -3, -4, and it keeps going. Okay, so I need -2, so I'm going to put a circle on -2. Now, this is less than or equal to. Since it has that equal to sign, I can color the circle in. And I need everything less than, so I need everything to the left. Less than left. So everything to the left of -2, put my arrow on there, and we're done. So, if it's greater than or equal to, it's an open circle. Or sorry, if it's greater than or less than, we have an open circle. If it's greater than or equal to or less than or equal to, then it's a closed circle. Okay, that is what the circle's being on the graph, so that's important. Okay, let's try something else. Writing an inequality from a graph. So now you're going to see the graph and try to write the equation for it. So let me draw this graph for you real quick. Oh, not quick, I'm not very fast, but you guys know that. Okay, so if I have, let's make this -2, -1, 0, 1. And we've got a circle here, and we're coloring everything this way. So, first of all, it does not matter what you pick for your variable unless it tells you, hey, we're going to use this one. So, we're just going to pick some number, k. Then, we're coloring to the right, so that means it has to be greater than. Then we look at our circle. That's an open circle, so it's just greater than. It can't be equal to. So it's just greater than. And our value is -1 from up here. And that is all there is to it. Let's try another one, since it seems so easy for us. Okay, we've got, let's go with some bigger numbers. This is 20, 25, 30, and it keeps going. Okay, and then change colors here. I've got a circle here, and we're going to color it this way. Okay, so if that is my graph, let's pick a letter. Let's use N. I don't know, sounds like a good number, or a good letter, excuse me. Alright, so N is, and we're coloring to the right, so it's got to be greater than. Check out the circle. Is it open or closed? It's a filled in circle, so equal to. And then you just go with this value that the circle's on, 25. Okay, so I think we'll get this pretty quickly. You have all the information you need. Let's just do a quick review before we close out for the day. So we talked about linear inequalities in one variable. We know what those are. It's just inequality, one letter in it. The solution is just the numbers that make the equation true. We talked about how to check if a number is a solution. You just plug it in for the variable. Then we graphed. So we know that if it's greater than or less than, we have an open circle. If it's greater than or equal to or less than or equal to, we have a closed circle. And then we flipped it around and looked at how we can write things based on the graph. So that is all I've got for you today. Go ahead and try the work, and I will see you in class.